Countdown.
It is. Hey, gang. Welcome back to CirdecSongs and another hopefully fantastic interview. Before we get rolling, as always, I ask you to like and subscribe to my channel. And please comment, because the algorithm likes it. And if I can make the algorithm happy, everybody's happy. I have an amazing guest with me today. Somebody I don't know nearly enough about, but he's gonna fill us in. He's got quite the resume. I saw Phil Collins and Eric Clapton, where he was a keyboard player, but there's much more to it. I actually caught him last week with Progject with Mike Keneally and other superstars. I think it was last week. Yeah, it was. It was a busy weekend. He is RYO Okumoto. I bid you konnichiwa. How are you doing, sir? How are we doing today?
It's really good. Thank you for having me here.
Excellent. We appreciate you coming by. You are in Los Angeles now, correct?
Yep, nice and cool. It's not too hot here.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Because mercifully, I'm in Chicago, so we had a couple of
It's
hot
very
days and it
heat.
cooled back
It's
off again.
hot. Pretty
It
hot.
was the day you came to St. Charles. It was really hot. I think it was like
It was.
101. It was just woof.
Uh,
Just awful. For the sake of the uninitiated, and I'm kind of one of them, can you run through how you got into music? Whenever you started.
well, my mom taught me when I started when I was 3 years old, and I took some classic up to like sixth grade. Then I started hanging out with the guitar player musician. I was about 12, and particular this friend of mine invited me to join the band, so I did. I did those college concerts when I was 13 as a keyboard
Sure,
player.
sure.
And 14, he asked me to. He said there's a gig, actual gig, paying job in Osaka nightclub. So I started playing there, and I left the school. I left the home and got out of my apartment. I was 14, and it became 15, and I started playing keyboard all around the place. At that time, disco music coming kicked in.
Okay.
70 early 70s. So I was playing, and then when I turned 15, I moved to Tokyo and I started playing a nightclub because every month there's a new disco nightclub, summer club. They needed a band.
Right.
Band was like everywhere. So I started playing. Schedule was like 7 to 12, 4 sets, and 12 to 4 a.m. for 4 sets. And there was a
Wow.
40 minute sets, 40 minutes break. So I went to the next building, actually upstairs, same building, to play another 40 minutes. So I was doing 16 sets per night, 7 nights a week,
That's a
every day.
lot. How do you keep track of all that music in your head? That's
Yeah.
impressive.
So I have to learn like maybe a couple hundred songs per month. And
Wow.
yeah, 7 to 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock. It's all pretty much R&B. The Commodores, Stevie Wonder, and Al Green and all those hit songs came in. It's I have to learn. That's how I was doing it, and up to 19 years old. Then a friend of mine took me to audition for a group called Creation. At that time, it was biggest rock band in Japan who
Okay.
played the Budokan first time as a rock band. So I did that for a couple of years, and I got the deal from like also I play with the Kitaro, the keyboard player.
Oh, I've heard that
So,
name been around. Yes.
yeah. And his producer asked me to make a solo album, so I did that. And he asked me where I want a record. I said London and Los Angeles. So I went to the London first and cut album with the couple of people, and I released that. It's called Solid Gold, and went to LA to cut another album. This was ridiculous. Jay Graydon, the guitar player, a producer asked me, who do you want to play with it? I said, I want to play with Toto. And at that time, Airplay, the album between Jay Graydon and David Foster,
Okay.
was released, and so I asked Jay Graydon to put a band together. So when I get there, there was Jeff Porcaro from Toto and Neil Stillbenhouse on the bass and Steve Lukather, guitar player from
Yes.
Toto, and Jay Graydon was playing guitar, and believe it or not, the David Foster was my second keyboard player on the recording. The
Wow.
David Foster.
And he went on to
So
produce quite a few hits
I
down the
know,
road.
and I was 22. I was
Wow.
22, and I saw the quality of a musicianship that there. Uh, that the whole session was ridiculous. We did 2 days recording, 4 hour each, so total 8 hours, and we finished the whole album.
That's
Everything
impressive.
was done. So I went to
That's
back.
really impressive.
Then went and I went to. We went back to Japan. So released those two albums. We had it was ready, mastered and everything. So 2 months release and 2 months release, and I released another synthesizer album of 2 months. So I had three albums released from a Canyon record in Japan. And I said, well, now I saw the difference between Japanese musician and American musician. So I said, I got to go. So I left Japan. I moved
Okay.
to LA when I was 22.
What was the difference? Because that's an
Age of
interesting
six.
thought.
Yeah,
Can't hear me again.
it's
What
ear,
was the
ear. They
oh the
they
ear? Okay, okay.
can they can hear, they can follow the technique, feel, sight read, and everything about those musicians, especially those musicians, top musicians, session player and all that. So I was blown away totally. It's never happened, especially when you're playing with the Jeff Porcaro. You know how he
Yeah,
is. He
that
has a photography memory. He played one time through, and he saw the charts out, and he memorized all the songs playing just one time. Incredible.
that
Yeah,
is amazing.
yeah, rhythm, feel, solo, everything about it. It's much better these days. Japanese musician is much higher level right now, but at that time wasn't. It wasn't. So
Okay.
I was one of them. So I wanted to move to LA to grow up with them. So I studied, went to the school for 4 years, music school. It's called Dick Grove School of Music in Studio City. I
Okay.
did yeah, jazz keyboard, compose arrangement, film scoring, and everything. And I was just a rock player in the beginning, and by the time after 4 years, I was conducting. I was writing songs and score parts and conducting 70-piece orchestra when I was graduated. So that's how I started, and then the people, the students and all the teacher at school, they asked me to play the gig. So I started playing in town. It was incredible. Every night, sometimes I had 3 gigs per day, playing church in the morning and going to Irvine. It's incredible. I was so busy. It was professionally. I had a good time there.
That's that's something else. I mean, that's a well of a work ethic to have at that young an age. I knew about playing with the likes of Phil Collins and Eric Clapton, but you've got a whale of a resume. We just talked about it before we came on. Could you rattle off some of the people that you played with besides those two?
Yeah. So what happened is, I met Rezi Dozier. He's an engineer for Marvin Gaye,
Hmm.
and his brother is Lamont Dozier. He is the team called Holland Dozier Holland,
Yes. If you know
and
music, soul music, you know those guys. You know those names,
yeah, Heat Wave and all that. So
right?
Lamont has 75 top 10 hit in United States. It- Incredible. So Reggie asked me to be uh, Lamont. house arranger. So I went to his studio and he played some songs, and I was arranging all the songs. For I did for like 3 years now, and all the people came in the studio. Dear Barry White and all this dude came up to the studio and met them, and before I know, I was touring with the Barry White first. I think no, my first tour was with the Jennifer Holiday,
Okay.
and went to Sweden, came back. Then that Fifth Dimension, original Fifth Dimension, they reunited the whole group. So I was first I was rehearsal piano player, and they took me as the keyboard player. So I did the tour for a couple of months. Then my name started going around in this R&B scene. Then the Barry White called me. Did that for 2 years. Then between a lot of people I played, and yes, the big one was well, Aretha Franklin. I really enjoyed it playing with her. You know who doesn't?
That's no small gig.
Yeah, she's incredible. I had her on my monitor so loud. I said, "Wow, I'm playing with Aretha Franklin."
I think the same thing. Was any of it intimidating at all to you, or was
No,
it
it's
just a
not.
gig by then?
It's just good. You know, I enjoy. You
Okay.
know, sometimes they have a chart, sometimes they don't have a chart. Then the Natalie called me. That is the highest. That was that was a peak for me.
Yeah.
The musically incredible, incredible. She had 200 songs on a chart in a book, big book.
Wow.
And I have to sight read it. Um, and I was the orchestra. I have to play string section and horns and woodwind. So actually, I had two books here, one for strings and one for brass and woodwind. I was reading both charts at the same time.
You're my new hero. I just want you to know that.
And
you were
what happened
doing
is, because there's so many songs, she she won't decide which song we're gonna do tonight 15 minutes before showtime.
so you got to be on top of it.
And so when I get the song list, I just went over the chart and just put everything together and start learning how to play the intro, right? And lots
Right.
of songs start. This is the chart from original recording.
Okay.
So a lot of songs start with string section. So it's
Right.
me by myself, naked for a minute, and chords are like this. It was
That's
exciting though. Yeah.
yeah. Well, it keeps you on your toes, and that is really valuable experience. Now,
Then I'm sorry. Then
oh, but there's
work,
more.
yeah, well, working with the Lamont Dozier, because Phil Collins sang one of his songs, Heat Wave, on
Yes.
Phil's album, and Lamont wanted to do the solo album, and he invited Phil Collins and Eric Clapton, and I was arranging all the songs. So I went to the studio with this arrangement. So Phil Collins walked in and started playing the drums, started singing. That's how I did my recording with the Phil Collins.
Not bad. Not too bad at all. Now, journalists like to define a player's style. I don't like to do that because I think the player can do it better. How do you define the Rio style?
My style is I am totally street musician. I'm not the guy like the classic oriented player that who can practice so much when they were young.
Right.
I learned from street, everything on the street, and I play with the feeling. I fucking play with the feel. That's me, and I'm a professional faker. So when I play, I just fake, but in a good way.
Right,
in
right.
really good way. And I just don't sit and play the chord. I just play the chord, and it's so much energy into anything what I do. I don't just sit and play.
That's
That's me.
impressive.
Energy, feeling, emotional. That's it.
Nice. Were you influenced by anyone in particular, or did you just kind of find your way on your own?
I think I found my own because I was busy learning the songs when I was a teenager. I was so busy. That was my base. Learning R&B, like so many songs. That was my teacher. So it's not particular guy I did it for. Of course I like Chick Corea, Kiss Emerson,
Right,
Rick Ekman and all that stuff. But I didn't really actually copy those because I was busy playing top 40. But it's
right.
good top 40. So yeah, yeah, my copying the music. Well, actually, the music is all about the copying. That's how you get your chop up and the ear, develop your ear.
Right.
So that was
That
my
makes
method.
sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. What a lot of people don't realize, or what I found a lot of people don't realize, especially in the progressive rock world, is musicians love music. They play all styles of music. So I've listened to this R&B background, very impressive. What led you into the progressive rock world?
Spock's beard.
A fine
This
band.
this band, it's been 30 years now. We're still together. We got 13 of them and many DVD and all that. One time I was playing in Pasadena. It's a blues gig for $20, and the guitar player from Spock's Beer showed up, Alan Moss, and we just jammed. And he asked me to join the jam session. That's what they do every Thursday
Right.
in North Hollywood. So I went there, and the Spock's Beer member was there. Him and Neil Moss, and Nick DiVasilio, the drummer. Now he's with
Uh-huh.
the Big Big Train. Well, actually, he's playing with the what was that? Well, he's incredible drummer and incredible singer. So I joined that 30 years ago. Then I have to just switch my hat. R&B right now. I'm a progger, so I gotta start playing the prog. So we made an album, keep up, and then we did a tour, first tour in Germany. Then the Neil, Neil Moss,
Yes. Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So he's a keyboard player also, guitar player and singer
Right.
for the band. So he asked me. I asked him, "What should I play?" He said, "I'll play piano and some lead synths." Uh, he said, "You play organ and minimal and mellotron."
Okay.
I said, "Okay, that's new to me." But I was playing organ a lot,
Right.
as a teenager. So I like the grindiness because organ is only instrumental, keyboard instrumental will cut through guitar. It
Okay.
will win the guitar. The synth piano doesn't win. When the guitar player playing real loud, all the synth's gonna go away. Hold on a second.
Okay.
Yeah. Um, yeah. So we put some distortion on organ, and you are equal as a guitar. You can rock out with the organ. That's what I'm
Right.
trying.
Makes sense. Makes sense. How difficult is that transition? I mean, R&B is pretty much standard time 4/4, and now you go into progressive rock where it's all over the place.
Music,
How
music is same. Doesn't matter 4/4 or 7/4, 11/8, or this doesn't matter. It's a music. There's a groove. There's a groove in each time signature. Seven has a groove, five has a groove. It's just a groove, all about groove. And when you start running the riffs, dun 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 dun, that becomes so natural to you. You don't even think about the time signature.
Makes
It's a good.
sense. Makes sense.
Yeah, it's easy.
What did you feel, or what do you feel that you bring to the table with a band like Spock's Beard?
Um, well, the first of all, this might be a little different subject, but when I was playing with the old R&B big stars,
Uh,
it's good money, excellent money, tour, good exposure, but still, I was a hired player, side player. I was in a band supporting,
right.
and the Spock spirit kicked in. Then suddenly I am the artist.
That makes sense.
So yeah, instead of a
It's a
session
different
player,
level.
yeah, instead of a session player, now I became an artist. I said, wow, and doing the tour, and after the concert, all the fans comes up to me on the merchandising. Their eyes like this. RYO OKUMOTO, please give me an autograph. We like you so much. Oh, I love you playing this. And because I play guitar, and some kids picked up a guitar and got exact same as me, the wardrobe, and start playing and taking picture and send to me and stuff like that. And say, oh, I'm an artist right now. I really enjoy. Yeah, you know,
It's say
that's
it's a different plane of existence instead of just being kind of in the background. Now you're
you
right
know,
up front.
that's the joy. That is the freaking joy.
I believe it. I believe any particular gigs or records stick out for you?
With the Spark or with the R&B?
Oh, we could just do both.
R&B. The first time I played was with the Aretha Franklin was opening for Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in Cleveland Stadium.
Oh, wow.
50,000 people. There's a rolling stage, and that was my first gig with Aretha Franklin.
Yeah, that's a nice first impression.
I know. And I said, oh my God.
Is that
And
something you think about when there's 50,000 people, or do you just say it's a gig?
it's
How
a
does that
gig.
work in your head?
It's a gig. It's a gig. I enjoy it. Even 50,000 or 10 people, I don't care. I'll just give all. Then during that set, by the way, Chuck Berry announced Aretha Franklin as he was right here. Chuck Berry was. I said, oh my God, this is incredible. Then towards the ending, the last song, Al Green came in from side and started singing with Aretha Franklin. I said, whoa, okay, this is one of my best moments in my life.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
How
So
about with
yeah,
go ahead.
when I got into Spock Spirit, the first we did a couple festival in LA, and Mike Portnoy, the drummer from
Dream
Dream
Theater, yes.
Theater, he heard our album. He just fell in love with it, so he wanted to help us promoting. So he offered us an opening for Dream Theater in the U.S. and Europe. I think it was 90, 97 or 98. That's how Spoxville really started, kicked in.
Okay, you had a new audience to play for, and they just kind of
Yeah,
they
yeah,
caught on.
that
Very-
was pretty
how
good.
how long did it take you to settle in with Spock's Beer? Because you have, like you said, you have a different mentality. You're the artist now instead of part of the backup. How
Well,
long did it take you to be comfortable?
it took me 4 5 years to settle in and get my gear together and getting a good album. First, second, third album was pretty good, and by the time when we hit the fifth album, we were pretty good. We were playing for 2,000 people, 2 to 3,000 people in Europe, and that's when I all my equipment got settled in. I know which gear I'm supposed to be playing, how sitting down, standing up. Okay, I'm gonna stand up. I'm gonna play like a Kiss Emerson, you know, both side and keyboard, so people can see the keyboard. it took me a while to set up my keyboard rig and how I'm gonna be presenting myself on the stage. But yeah, maybe it took me like 7 or 8 years to accomplish what I really want to do. And
Wow.
since then, I'm just keeping it.
For my keyboard geeks out there, what's on your keyboard stands these days? What are you primarily playing?
Well, as I said, it's the piano, electric
Uh,
piano, and Hammond on the top, and
right.
I got another 61 keyboard on the left side. With the Spock, I have minimum on the top,
Okay.
but with the Progject, I have up soloist in the middle and minimum on the top because we play so many Genesis songs, and
Yes.
up soloist is this D soloist for that Tony Banks used for many melodies, and so that's what I do.
Nice. How did Progject come together? Because I've heard a couple of things from Mike, but for you, how did they come together?
Oh, the battery ran out. I put
Okay.
5 minutes in the battery.
Time out.
Yeah, I just came back from a tour, so everything is everywhere.
Oh, I believe it.
You know, just a second. Uh,
We are experiencing mild technical difficulties, but
mhm.
we will put it back together.
Yeah, the video eats up a lot of AC.
This is true. I think this
Uh-huh.
is my first interview with an up close look at a water bottle.
I got a medication.
Gotcha. Because you just don't know what's going to happen with these interviews, I tell you.
Okay, so where are we?
We are at how Project came together.
Oh, the project. So Jonathan called me up. I had a mutual friend, Eric, guitar player. They were really tight together. Eric and Jonathan was tight together. So 4 years ago, Jonathan wanted to put a band together, the prog cover band,
Uh-huh.
because he played with the music box, um, and those are tribute band for
Yeah,
Genesis.
I've seen them there. I think I saw them do the Lamb several years
It's
ago.
pretty
It was
good, right? And they
it
draw
was
a lot
very
of
special.
people. They draw a lot of people. And Jonathan wanted to do something like that, but he didn't want it to be a tribute band. He wanted to play what he wants to play, right?
Right,
So
right.
he asked Eric, "Do you know any keyboard player?" And he gave me Eric gave Jonathan my name. And the interesting thing is the day he mentioned it, well, they had a concert, the Brian X concert in the Pasadena Rose,
Okay.
and me, I was gonna take my wife because I knew a couple of people there to see the concert, and I went to the club, and right behind me there was a Jonathan.
Huh. Okay.
There was a Jonathan right behind me, and said, "Oh," and Eric said, "Oh, that's real. That's real. We talked about it today." He said, "Oh, how you doing?" Yeah, I just called you. Yeah, yeah, we just talked. Wow.
There's
So
a
yeah, and well, let's get together. And the next day, went to his studio, and he started giving me all this concept and all that. And I said, okay, I'll do it. So
nice.
that's how we started.
It sounds like you two were just meant to be together. To
Yeah,
be sitting that close.
yeah, yeah.
Now, when you play in a tribute band, how crucial is it that you play exactly what the band originally played, if at all?
Uh, I do approach copying every single note and chord first,
Right.
but I don't want to just play. that because each keyboard player, which is Tony Banks, Keith Emerson, Rick Wakeman, they have their own style,
Right.
and my style is a little different. So I alter whatever I can. I don't play single melody as Tony Banks does. I put a little more feels, a little more volume change to give those the the keyboard is very hard to be emotional sound wise to bring that to the audience because it's a note, not like a guitar player. Guitar player can be very expressive because of the
Right.
strings, you know, but
Yes.
the only the keyboard player can do is with the pitch bend, vibrato, and the volume pedal. And most keyboard player doesn't use volume pedal. I do use a lot because that's how you really get into mezzo piano to double piano to forte. Each melody, I push the volume pedal, just like I play the violin.
Okay, I got you.
How strong the volume plays. That's what I do. So it's different than the original recording. And also Hammond, um, I do a lot of changes on the drover when I'm playing, performing,
Uh-huh.
just like R&B player, just like a gospel organ player. That's what they do. Their left hands always on the drover,
Oh,
changing the sound, moving it. That's what I do. Most keyboard player, rock keyboard player, you just pick one song, one sound, and you play. So that's different to me when I play those Genesis, uh, King Crimson, and all that. Crimson doesn't have that organ thing.
right. No,
You
no.
know, I put distortion and a lot of grace hit there. Change voicing. The original is just one voicing, but I change voicing, developing. That's what
So
I
there's
do.
there's always something to do up there. Uh, what's your favorite keyboard sound? I'm in love with the sound of a Hammond B3 going through a rotating Leslie speaker.
That's it.
What do you like?
That's it. That's it. That's what I
That's
do.
that
That's
sound is hard to beat.
that and the minimal.
Okay.
Minimal is to me. I don't know any fancy stuff patch wise. Everything open. Filter, everything's open, 100% open, just as is. Use free oscillator and play the lead. But I can't find any other sounds better than minimal when I play solo in some melodies. So the Hammond, give me a Hammond, minimal, and Meltron, and I'm
And you're
set.
off and running.
But I am a pianist. I love playing very sensitive piano, ballad, and creating the mood and all that.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Any tunes that you really look forward to playing with Progject?
The Genesis, Kiss Emerson, those songs that we play, Carnival, um, yeah, Dance of Volcano, First of Fifth, incredible songs. Those songwriters, those keyboard player, songwriter, that is incredible. It's good for me to learn those songs because each keyboard player has different way to compose. The scale are very different and key is very different too. So I learned so much about it.
Okay, awesome, awesome. Um, you also have a solo album out there that
Mm.
we need to explore. Can you tell us a bit about that?
Yes, sir. It's called The Myth of the Mostolphus, released last year, last July. And as I told you, my first album and with the Steve Lukather and all that. That was 1980.
Uh-huh.
And I did another album, 2000. That's 20 years later. And this album was 2022. Took me another 20 years to
You're just pacing yourself. I understand.
20 years, 20 years, 20 years. Correct. But this time, I was lucky because all my friends, musicians, helped me out. A lot of people, especially Jonathan too, he recommended a lot of good player. So I put the puzzle together. I had 100 songs, and I choose 10 songs. Then I cut down to the 6 songs, and I have to look for the musicians. So I was getting talking to everybody. So who should sing this song? The singing is the voice is the key of the song. I don't want it's a solo album, but I don't want it to be keyboard phonetic solo album. I want it to be a
Right.
song. So when you hear that, you hear there's no much keyboard solo here and there. It was supposed to be 8 bars, supposed to be 16 bars, not like those fusions song you gotta like whole 3 minutes solo. It's not like that. Even the prog album, when you do the solo, you do a lot of shredding and
Yes.
try to keep this album as a listenable album. Right? So the singer was the key of it. So finally, I got Michael Suller from Osaga.
Okay.
I got Randy McSteen. Do you know who? Guitar player.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes. He's very good.
yeah. He's with the what's the band he's with?
Porcupine Tree. He just came in with
He got
Porcupine
the
Tree.
yeah.
As a matter of
He,
fact, we've interviewed him on this very channel, boys and girls. So
oh,
feel free to look that up.
yeah,
He's a very nice person.
he his voice is just fits on this particular ballad I have. It's called Chrysalis. It's incredible voice. And then so I had the Marcus Sauer, Randy McSteen, and also Michael Whiteman is a UK guy. He also co-write. He's my co-writer. He sang one song, and because Spock hasn't been releasing album for 3 years, I want to give our fan uh, something sounds like Spock's beard. So I wrote 2 songs, and I called everybody in Spock's beard and played. So Nick DiVasio singing one song, and former singer Ted Reynolds singing a song. So then the bass and drum, all Spock's beard on these 2 songs. The title song, most of us, and also the first song, Mila Mila, is by Spock's beard, almost like Spock's
Okay.
beard. So that came out last July. But
Nice.
yeah,
Now,
really
this is
good.
a solo album for you. Do you have a vision that you give your fellow musicians, or do you just give them a little latitude and let them do what they're
Let
going to
them
do?
what they want to do. All these musicians will just know what they're supposed to be doing. Yeah, because I need this type of solo from somebody like this, and the Mike Keneally playing one song, and
Okay.
I choose the song that he will like. And when I send 2 or 3 songs to the musician, and they tell me, "Oh, I want to do this song. I want to do this song." That means it's in his category.
Right.
So he just put everything um, what he's supposed to be doing. I got Steve Hackett doing the solo.
Oh,
That's
not bad at
that's
all.
that, that's like wow, really?
You just look up and there he is one day. That's an honor. That's no small feat.
And then surprising, it's called uh, a turning point. This song was a little bit on the side of R&B, and Jonathan played the drum, but I needed R&B bass player.
Right.
Jonathan knew Doug Wimbish.
From Living Color, yes.
I said, Jonathan said, "Oh, should I call him?" And he called, and I said, "Oh my goodness, you know." And I sent him the track, and he played incredibly, just blown away. He played many notes. He does. He has a lot to talk.
Right.
He played a lot of notes. I was shocked when I received his bass. I said, "This is a ballad, but there's so many notes, right?" And in the beginning, first listening,
Right.
so I got panicked. I asked Wimbish to play a little bit straighter again. He sent me back again. It was so boring.
Had to
I
go
said,
back
"Okay, my mistake, my mistake. This is you. The first take is you." And I
because
started,
he
yeah,
plays through a
and
boatload of effects too. So
yeah, and I start listening. Well, this song was ballad, so he really had really low, straight-head bass sound.
okay,
And I start listening 2 times, 3 times, and I said, "Oh my God, he really knows how to put the notes in there, here and here." And good thing was the bass has such an impact on the songs, and when he plays some fills, that became another orchestration. So I emphasize and I orchestrated on the top of bass line and put a little flute and strings on the top of that and made fill between the section. And his instinct was so good what he was playing. So
nice, nice.
it worked out good.
I'm marveling over not just the resume of people that you have on your record, but it reminds me of how small the music community is. Everybody knows everybody. I've interviewed Doug for a
It,
book I'm working on another keyboard legend on for Bernie Worrell. So, and the fact that
oh,
I can connect you, especially when you mentioned the mini mode, because Bernie kind of brought that to the forefront in the '70s. That's absolutely amazing.
yeah.
Uh, is there anything you haven't done yet that you want to do musically?
Well, actually, uh, I do some shows on my own as a RYO OKUMOTO here in
Uh-huh.
LA. Want my band to play some festival and tour and all that. That's my dream. And because of that album last year, uh, Crew to the Edge invited me to play
Okay,
as RYO OKUMOTO band next March.
nice.
So that's the first time I've been really invited by promoter the festivals. So I am so looking forward to that.
That should be a lot of fun.
That's gonna be
I've
so
heard.
much fun. I done
I've
like
heard.
a 5 cruise with a Spock. Um, it's so much fun there. 5 days on a cruise, you only play 2 1-hour sets, and the rest you just watch band and talking to everybody and that.
you've
But
got you've got time to network and play around and do whatever it is you want
are you
during those
coming to
hours.
cruise? Are you coming cruise? Have you done a cruise?
I haven't done a cruise yet. I was
Oh,
invited this past year, but I was a little was it this year or last year? One of the two, and I was a little COVID paranoid. But
yeah, 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 yeah.
I, I wouldn't mind going on one. It does sound like a really good time.
It's just all this the 3,000 people, proggers. You know, half of them are musicians, and we speak same language and respect. So much respect and fun and cruise, food. You're walking around and you see, this guy and this guy. Oh my God, he's walking around there. Yes, he's over there. Tony Levin spoke. Tony Levin is a pretty fanatic cameraman, photographer.
Yeah,
He likes,
yes, he's quite the photographer.
so he took a lot of pictures of me on the pool stage. and he sent me one. Uh, it's fun to see all the progress in one place. You cannot leave.
I'm gonna have to ask him about that. I saw him with Stickman, both
Mm.
with Stickman and
Me too.
with his the Levin Brothers band. I asked him to give me some photography lessons, so I'll have to
Oh,
ask him. I'll have to ask him about the pictures of you. He's another very nice
oh,
human
very
being.
sweet. Nice guy. He's a really nice guy.
Yeah. So you kind of forget about the legend aspect. That's one thing I've learned from talking to so many musicians is your people. When all said and done, your people. There's no one's holding each other on a pedestal or anything like that. You just address each other as peers.
Yeah, yeah. Well, especially Prague. We are so adult. We're so old. You know,
You said that. I didn't say that.
yeah. We've been there. We've been around. We've done so many things in the past. This is what we really want to do. Smart people. Have to be nice to everybody. If you don't, this is a small world. Prague
Right.
is a small world. People talk.
Yeah. That I believe. That I
Yeah,
completely believe. And before it slips away from me, we'll make sure we check out your solo album. It's on your website. I know that much.
from
But
my website. It's
any
called Inside Out Record.
okay, so we can people can find it on the other streaming platforms as well.
Yep.
Okay, and I'm old fashioned. I like physical materials, so I'm gonna have to hunt that down too. I got in a hurry when I saw Progject, so I didn't get to hang around as much as I want. But I'll be in touch about that because you've got my curiosity peaked, no doubt.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Yeah,
You like
just
it.
talking about it, that's
You
exciting.
like
I
it.
like where this is going. How
You
my
like it.
proggers out there will not let me get away with not asking what's in the future for Spock's beard.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's good. Well, actually, I'm booking a Spock next year in Europe. So that's gonna be good. And I'm writing more songs for Spock. Writing more songs for my solo album. Life is good.
I would say so. I'll let you out of here on this one. Is there anything, and we've covered quite a bit and time has flown by, is there anything that people don't know about you as an artist that you think they should know?
I think that was everything. I play music. I play keyboard.
that is that is your world. That is your world. Well, this has been a blast,
Thank you.
Rio. And I say to you, domo arigato gozaimasu.
ありがとうございます too. We're
And
gonna
this
have
was
Well, are you gonna be coming to any show? Is coming up project tour?
I'm certainly going to try. I
Yeah,
enjoyed the St. Charles show a lot. That blew my
yeah.
mind. I mean, you guys were on top of things. So I don't know if you guys are playing Prog Stock or not.
No, we're
But
not.
okay, I say I'll be out there for that. But
Okay,
I'll find you.
fine.
Rest
I
assured.
mean, it's a beer.
Absolutely. So I'm buying. So
Okay,
absolutely.
okay.
I really appreciate you hanging out with
You're
us.
welcome.
We
Thank
will
you for
see you
having me.
down the road. Take
See
care
you.
of yourself, and we'll talk soon.
All right, take care.